go to the thrift store and it's the best thrift day ever. The thrift gods are in your favor. You find a Dior handbag for $10 and you're like, this actually looks real. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some online internet sleuthing. I'm going to go to forums, websites. I'm going to authenticate this myself, and then I am going to list this Dior bag. Beautiful, pristine condition. All the signs online tell you that this is an authentic bag, and you list it. You list it for sale on Poshmark and eBay for $999, and you know what? It sells for $900 because someone sends you an offer for $900 and you're like, heck yeah. I just put 10 bucks into almost $1,000. It sells, you ship it off, and then you get a little message from the buyer saying, excuse me, you fraud. This is not an authentic Dior bag. I just had it authenticated by a third-party authenticator. This is not real, my friend. Nay, nay, absolutely not. But you did all of your internet sleuthing. You know that this bag is real. This is not right. What would you do? Pause here. Tell me down below. This is a true story, friends. This actually happened. Not to myself, because as you guys know, I get all of my stuff authenticated from a third-party authenticator. There's a ton of them online, you guys. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm not affiliated with any of them. I'll leave a link to some of the ones I use down below. Nikki, please actually link things. You guys know I say I'll link a million things, and I usually link like 5. If I forget, remind me, you guys. I read your comments. I will link it. I'll try to at least link it in the comments down below, but I'm not associated with any of these companies, but I get all of my luxury stuff authenticated before I list it, you guys. This actually happened to one of my group members. She sent me this scenario. This is not a scenario. This happened to her. I got her approval to discuss this, and I also got approval from all of my other group members that have DM'd me various scenarios over the last year that I can share with you guys. Actually, I've had my group now for 10 months, 9 months, almost a year. So let me tell you what happened. Basically, she did not, my group member, the seller, did not get it authenticated through a third-party authenticator, and she was just really adamant that it was real. She was in fact wrong, my friends, because these third-party authenticators, you guys, if you don't know, they just use AI. Most of them, let me not speak, I don't know all of them, but a lot of them use AI, and they use different, like they check serial numbers and different things. Even serial numbers can be faked though, but a lot of them use AI technology to authenticate your bag, which is far more reliable than just you going to a couple of forums and websites. And that is what I told her. So in the end, the bag, like 3 different websites said the bag was fake. And she was like, okay, because she told me I can share this. She was really adamant. Like, I did research for weeks before I listed it. I was just so sure that it was not fake. But once the buyer came with like 3 certificates saying this is fake, she was like, I finally had to just give in and put like my hands up. So Poshmark's threatening to ban her, and she's like, please wait, I've sold so many luxury items. Unlike myself, she sold a ton of luxury items over the years. I am just now like starting to dabble in it as of 2024, a little bit 2023. So she has a long-standing, like really good account. She's never had this happen before, which I told her everything I'm telling you guys. I told her, and I told her that I would tell everything that I told her to you guys, and she said that's fine. She wants everyone to learn from her mistakes. She sold all of her stuff by authenticating most of it herself, and I'm like, I don't know how you didn't have this happen sooner. She was like 50% like clothing, like non-luxury, like mid-range clothing up to luxury, but 50% of her closet was luxury, and she was just authenticating herself. And I'm like, you know what, take this as a sign that this only happened to you once. She did learn from this mistake. But so they were threatening to ban her. She's pleading with them like, look, this has never happened, I didn't know. And what Poshmark told her was, even if you didn't know, that's not an excuse, because it just makes everybody look bad. You know what I mean? The buyer lost trust in Poshmark, definitely lost trust in the seller. Buyer was saying she'll never buy on Poshmark again. And this was before Poshmark started the authentication service that they offer through Poshmark. So if you don't know, if you sell anything over $500 $500. Literally, if it's $501, $502, it first goes to Poshmark. They authenticate it at Poshmark headquarters up in Northern California, and then it will go to the buyer once they've authenticated. And I'm pretty sure Poshmark uses one of those third-party, I don't know if they use Entropy. They use a third-party authenticator, okay? So this was before that program started. This was years ago. So all of her luxury stuff was just going direct to the buyer. So now they've added protections for the buyer, but Poshmark doesn't want that. They don't want you selling fake. No platform wants you selling anything that you are not 100% sure is authentic. So this video is going to be some of the craziest stories my group members have sent in so that we can learn from the lessons that they have had. And there are some, and all of these, you guys, are 100% true. When they were sending these in to me, these are not, I didn't solicit this stuff. This is just stuff from the DMs that are coming in. My group members are like a wide range of resellers, people that have way more experience than me, that have been doing this for like 25, 30 years. And there are people that are literally day one resellers that are just starting. And I get all types of DMs in this group. So I got approval, and they all watched the channel, and they all approved in writing that I could share their stories with you. So grab a snack, grab a drink, because some of these are quite interesting. And I thought, while I do that, I could just like start setting up for my live sale tomorrow. You guys, actually happened to me. I thought I would throw in my own personal story. This is the brand Easel. This is new with the tags. People are selling this dress for like anywhere from $70 to $100. It's is it 100% cotton? It's like a boho. It looks very free people. I thought about keeping it. It's a size small, but it would fit up to a large. This is going, I do really well selling this brand on Poshmark. Actually, I've sold it on Poshmark and eBay a lot this year, but I'm going to put that in a live sale. This one has happened to me a couple of times. This happened recently on a McDougal gown, you guys, that I sold. I sold the McDougal gown on Poshmark. I got it in a Nordstrom palette. I paid $7 per item for everything in that palette. And this dress sold for $299. It retails for $680. McDougal is definitely a bolo, you guys. I've found McDougal all of the ways. I've found it thrifted, consignment stores. I've gotten it in pallets. I love selling this brand. I always do no returns on gowns. How cool is this jacket slash trucker jacket? This is from the brand Pole, another like premium boutique brand I love selling. This one retails anywhere from like 70 to 80, 85 on the high end. Here's what happened. Basically, I do no returns on gowns because I'm not Nordstrom. I can't afford for you to wear out my $300 gown, return it to me, list it. I don't have time for that, to clean it. I'm not doing that. So gowns, special occasion attire, like suits, I do no returns, okay? No returns, and as we've learned in the last video, I do signature required, right? If you haven't seen that story time video, I will link that one down below. Later, buyer has opened up a request for a return on eBay, and I always say as the channel grows, first of all, I shouldn't be calling anyone silly or dumb, but I don't know that she was thinking this through, because like I said, she gave me a 5-star rating literally the day after the dress arrived. She opened up a claim 2 weeks later and said, item not as described, dress smelled like deodorant, perfume. She said it smelled like perfume and cologne and had very suspicious staining. So I'm like, okay, first of all, you gave me a 5-star rating. Anyone else have their heart like sink a beat when you get that dreaded email or notification from eBay and it says buyer has opened a return or return request from buyer? And I'm like, oh no, please let this be like a $10 item. Of course, it's like the $2.99 gown I sold. And I'm thinking, this is the girl I'm pretty sure that left me a 5-star review. And so eBay was basically saying, like, please respond. You know how they say, like, they want you to handle it on your own. They want you to work it out because they don't really want to get involved, right? I've found that like 90% of the time they're going to take the buyer's side anyways. They're very buyer protected over on eBay, which is great for the buyer, but bad when you get scammers. You know what I mean? So I immediately go to the review, I screenshot it, and in the return request, I say, look, number one, she gave me a 5-star review the day after this thing was delivered, and I put the tracking number in there. Number two, I have video footage of myself boxing this up, sealing it up, new with the tags, and I put in the chat, which I probably shouldn't have. I was like, yes, I know you can't smell through video, but you can visually see there is no staining on this dress. Because of that incident that happened with me, you guys, with those expensive items in that video I talked about, I'll link it down below. I don't want to get into it again. I am so hypercritical on things that I sell over $100. I videotape them. Videotape them sounds so old school. I film myself packing it up. I film the item with the shipping label. I actually put my phone on a tripod and film myself putting it in the box, sealing it up, and putting the shipping label on it because of things like this. People, she clearly wore the dress. So then she uploaded in this, I keep wanting to call it a case, it's not eBay, in this return request, she uploaded pictures of stains. And I will say, yes, girlfriend, if you are watching this video, those stains were suspicious. I don't know what you were doing that night. That's none of my business. But whatever you did, you need to get your dress cleaned because that is not how I sent it to you. And I basically said that verbatim. I'm a mess, you guys. I very rarely put emotions into my reselling business. I'm just not one of those emotional women. It's clothing, you know what I mean? But I was just like, this girl, I was getting a little heated because like, this girl's not gonna scam me because you went out and had a wild and crazy night and you need your money back. So I put all this in the case and I was just waiting because I'm just waiting for eBay to be like, well, I mean, even though you have the video footage, we didn't see the whole dress or something. Do you know they actually sided with me? And they said my video footage really helped them to determine that I sent the dress in just in the condition that I described in the listing. And they said, thank you so much for the video footage. I have had one time when I got eBay support involved and I was like, I have video footage. They're like, or was that Poshmark? One of them said, oh, we don't need to see your video. And I was like, what? A couple of you have told me that you've like tried to show your video footage. I think it was Poshmark. And they were like, we don't review video footage. eBay will, at least this eBay rep. And if they didn't review it, I was going to go to someone else because I was like, I'm not getting this dress back. This was a great profit sale, sold fairly quickly. And she's a scammer. No, absolutely not. Listen, I'm not Nordstrom. I'm not Bloomingdale's. I don't have the capacity to take it back. And they sided with me. My earnings were released. And because what happens was my earnings were already released. But you know, when a buyer opens a return request, if you don't know on eBay, they basically take that money like from your eBay account. So even if you have zero in your eBay account, it would basically say like negative $320 until you make enough sales to cover that. So I was like, no, this is not happening, girl, no. So I am a little OCD about that. Do you need to photograph or like film yourself shipping things? I always say, I don't tell you how to run your business. I just tell you what's working for me. And if you want to implement some of that, great. If you don't, totally great. There are so many ways to do this business, but I will share with you, I forgot to mention that in that like eBay video, is that for super high-end stuff, like I'm talking, usually I only do this for things that like sell over $200, but I don't know, I'm getting so like weary of scammers that I might even lower it to 100, is that I will film myself packaging it up, sealing it, putting the shipping label on it, because I don't want anyone to say like, hey, in the pictures you said it was new and perfect condition, and then when I got it, all of a sudden it had weird stains. I'm like, girl, you know where you got those stains. I thought while we do this next scenario, I could show you guys me photographing items. I've told you guys in many videos, we have a lot of new subscribers. My photography setup is super basic. There's a command hook, a hanger, and one ring light. You guys, I have very limited time to photograph. I use my cell phone, so I try to get it done super easy, super fast. This is me doing it in like the office area of our condo. We have like a built-in office area, and then I have my own room it's a bedroom that I turned into my office. So those are the two places I photograph. I like to get out of my office by the end of the day. So I come out here to this little like office area that leads to the patio. So while we talk about the other scenario sent in from my group member, I thought you could just watch me photograph. I will leave a link to my ring light down below. It's less than $100 on Amazon. It's amazing. I've literally had it for like 8 years. It's a little wobbly, but it still works, you guys. So one of my group members sent this in and she asked my thoughts. She sold a t-shirt for $10, you guys. She got this from a thrift store in Wyoming. She paid 50 cents for it. The buyer immediately after they paid messaged her and said, if you do not ship this t-shirt within 24 hours, I'm going to leave negative feedback and report you. Mind you, her handling time on eBay is 2 business days, and that's very clear in the listing. So that I cannot tell you, before I tell you what she did and what happened, I cannot tell you how many times my lower price sales often cause me problems. I don't know what it is, you guys, but anytime I sell something, which is pretty rare on eBay, it's more so on Poshmark. Anytime I sell anything for like under $15, those can be some of the worst, I don't want to say buyers, but the worst scenarios I've had where they're just problems. Do any of you guys experience that? I've asked some of my reselling friends and they're like, yes, it's always like the $10 sales that the drama goes on. So anyways, she messages the buyer. She was very professional. And of course, I recommend staying as professional as you can. I mean, you can cuss the person out to your spouse, your friends, but in the eBay messages, we are running a business, right? We want to be professional. So she said, per my policies, I have 2 business days to ship this out to you. Today is Saturday. So that would mean that I would have, I think she said she had until Tuesday, but I mean, technically you have until Wednesday, right? Because Monday and Tuesday would be the 2 business days. So Wednesday would be the latest. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 2 full business days. And, you know what the buyer did? They canceled the sale. They put in a request to cancel and she just gladly accepted. I 100% agree with what she did. You know, try to remain professional, you guys. This is our business. We don't want documented proof that we are like taking our anger out on the customer. I say documented because like I said, you can vent to your friends, vent to anybody in real life if you need to. When I get messages like this, I just roll my eyes and I do exactly what she said. I say, look, my handling time is 2 business days. I will get this shipped out as soon as possible, especially when they're nasty like that. Now, sometimes this more so happens on Poshmark. The person will message me in the order and be like, oh, this happened actually 3 times last week. Someone was going to a wedding, someone was going on vacation, and someone was going to be in their daughter's wedding. So 2 weddings and a vacation. And they messaged me, they're very polite, like, hey, they actually asked, they did not demand, do you think you can ship this tomorrow because, you know, I'm going on vacation and I'd like to wear it or whatever. And I said, absolutely. I actually shipped it for them same day. These were all purchases that were made early in the morning. So before I got off work, I actually went and shipped it for them. So, you know, if the person is nice, that's different. And if I have the time, I make it work. But when they're very demanding and rude, like they're threatening you. And honestly, if anything were to happen and they were to leave negative feedback, you guys, eBay would remove it because you would have documented proof that they're threatening you, and you would have documented proof that you were professional and you said my handling time is, you know, 2 business days or 1 business day or whatever it is. So that's how she handled it. That's how it went. And that's exactly how I would recommend handling that scenario. I really wanted to share that one because that happens to me all the time, you guys. And it's always the lower price sales. That is why, honestly, I really try not to sell anything under $20. Occasionally it happens. Like I just posted on my Instagram and my TikTok that I sold a Lane Bryant top for, I think it sold for $17 that I got for 50 cents while I was in Montana. But that is very rare. Most of my sales are minimum $20 for items that I'm listing. Now, if it's a live sale and I have it photographed and listed the item, that's a different story. So Anywho, this is my photography setup. I will link my ring light down below. The hangers, most of my stuff is from Amazon, you guys. These dresses that I'm photographing are the Lulu's box from Boutique by the Box. I do have a code with them. You get 10% off. It's just my name, NikkiBeautyBlis, NikkiBuys, and you get 10% off. This is one of my favorite boxes I've got from them, you guys. I like the Stitch Fix. I've enjoyed the Spanx. I just wish the Spanx had more clothing, but the Lulu's box is one of my favorites. I love all of these dresses. I've already sold a lot of them. I've kept a couple. My not so favorite from Boutique by the Box has been the, what was it? I can't even remember. I really liked that like higher end shoebox I got. So I always link my code down below if you want to check them out. I have some Rent the Runway stuff coming from them. So I'm actually going to post that unboxing in the group. So a lot of my unboxings, you guys, are going in the group. If you're interested, I always link the group down below. You can cancel anytime. I post 2 exclusive videos for them every month. I'm kind of backlogged, so this month I'm actually going to be posting like 3 or 4. There's resources in there, but yeah, the Rent the Runway unboxing, when I get it from Boutique by the Box, is probably going to go in there, so if you're interested in that. But let me know if you like these scenario videos. I have a lot more, you guys, a ton more. I just ran out of time and I feel like this video is very long. But if you want to see a part 2 of this, let me know and I can do that. Let me know in the comments down below because I literally have like 15 more from my own personal experience and from my group members. And I think that sharing this, we can all learn a lot. And I hope you found it helpful. So now I'm going to take you to storage, show you me doing some inventory. I realized this dress had a rip, which was really sad. So I ended up having 2 of these dresses. I think I'm going to keep the one with the rip and actually just get it fixed because I personally love that dress.